We'll talk about curling.
Do we have to? Curling. Tough sport, man. Chest on ice.
Yeah.
You still got to make the shots.
Well,
Holy
good.
crap. Yeah, I know it's fun. Actually.
Those hammies, I tell you, those hammies.
It's not even its quads. It's just all the lunges, bro. There's so much gains on the lunges. Oh, it gets intense. And it's even worse because it's like old ladies, like just completely dominating you. It's the most humbling sport I've ever played in my life.
Okay.
I've never lost so many times in anything that I've ever done. I'm just one of those guys who naturally is great at everything. You know, when it comes to sport, I just sports
just take to it.
Yeah,
just take to it.
Sports ergonomics. That's just my forte. It's like, oh, what are you guys playing? Oh, let me watch for 3 seconds. Got it.
Okay.
Here we go. Curling.
It's humbling.
Humbling is an understatement, man. Like I'm mildly offended by some of these women who can curl and they can get into this crazy lunge and they're like just like on the ice for 40 meters,
Balanced,
like
straight down, no veering, no falling off.
None of it. It's like, how do you have core strength?
Yeah.
Like you can barely walk to the rink and then you get on the ice and you're like a Black Panther pose the whole way through. Like, I'm not even kidding, man. It's like, Trinity from Matrix. It's just that everything moves around.
Yeah. No
It's
kidding.
crazy. Super gifted.
Well, speaking about gifted, we have Nick here from Reclaimed Massage Therapy. This is going to be a funny episode, I can tell you right now.
It's going to be different for Michelle. Michelle's the professional one.
Yeah. And so Nick is Michelle's partner and also clinic manager here at Reclaimed Massage Therapy, reclaimedhealthgroup.com, in the lovely, beautiful city of Chilliwack, Vedder Rd. All the details on the website. And we're just talking about how Nick is getting into curling.
It's tougher than everybody thinks. It really is. Fair play to everybody that goes out there and plays. The environment's absolutely sensational. The networking is always very, very good. Favorite part is how it's humbling. You don't excel the way you think you do. It's very hard because you have to learn how to lunge.
Okay.
Not a lot of people have that flexibility. Quad dominant, and then sweeping. God, sweeping is a very, very tough thing, man. It's fast, it's rapid, and you try not to break your face.
Well, I fear that I would actually touch the rock.
You know what? You learn to adapt really quickly, not to touch the rock.
Have you ever done it?
Touch the rock?
Yeah.
God, no.
In sweeping?
No. I'm a magician. I'm a magician when it comes to sweeping. I don't know what it is.
But in curling, I wonder, the people who curl, they sweep so much that when they go home, they're like, that's the last thing I want to do is sweep the house.
Genuinely, I can tell you, after I sweep, after a long game, my low back is killing me.
Okay.
That position, that ergonomic position of sweeping is honestly one of the toughest things that you kind of have to go through. So a lot of people have issues with low back, sciatica, impingements, bulge discs, herniation, so on and so forth.
From the sport?
From just general life, right? It can be a car accident. It can be an injury back in the day. Weekend warriors, people that don't really work out and they go play their sport and come back. So essentially what happens is that back starts seizing up and getting tight. Why? Because the erectors, the lumbar ligaments, glutes, quads, hamstrings, everything attributed with the core isn't stable enough to carry them through. So when it comes to curling, when you're doing that for basically an hour and a half, 2 hours, being in that fixed, slightly bent position, it really takes a charge on the low back, and it hurts. It hurts. So what you want to do is stabilizing exercises. So a lot of lunges and squats, a lot of stretching to the low back. Yoga is fantastic for it.
How's Pilates for that?
Pilates is probably one of the most understated exercise movements and programs in the world, in my opinion. We always hear about yoga. We always hear about going to the gym, doing active recovery, weightlifting, cardio, so on. Pilates essentially is strengthening with the elasticity portion of working out. So I'm a huge believer of Pilates. As a matter of fact, I know there's a few companies out there recently that are starting to do Pilates with yoga. It's a combination of both classes, which sounds easy enough, but it is mind-blowingly awesome. Pilaga.
Your Pilates.
I like Yolati's a lot. Yolati's is
Yolati's sounds good. Now you're right to it.
We gotta trademark that.
Yeah.
We gotta trademark that.
Hashtag Yolati's.
Listen, it's on camera, right?
But it's not live yet. But it is on camera.
Okay, Yolati's. If you guys hear Yolati's, we're owning that.
Yeah. Yolatis.com.ca.org. Yeah.
Got all of it.
Yolati's not all of it.
So I mean, what else? Functional mobility.
So I see you trimmed.
Yes.
No more what you call the coined term.
Am I going to say that? Because we get it edited in. I feel like we're going to lose 26% of the Dutch community, man.
Oh yeah, that's not good. But you cleaned up for the show. I
got to be honest. There's a little scraggle but I was told I was doing this at 10:36 in the evening last night. No so thanks, babe.
But you guys crushed it at the women's event, the women's
Expo, Fraser Valley Womens Expo.
Tell me about that experience.
Incredible. We've never felt a response like we did from the community, like we did that weekend. It was going on from Friday, Saturday, Sunday last week. I think through the 3 days, we probably had close to 3,000 or 4,000 people walk through.
That's incredible.
Our little booth. So thank you to Fraser Valley Women's Show for helping us out. We set up a couple gift baskets, basically self-care gift baskets with gift certificates as well. And the response was overwhelming. We had about 1,500 people who registered to win this great prize, and we also gave up massage for a year, which is another incredible.
That's a great grand prize.
It is. I mean, it's necessary, and we're always trying to give back to the community. That is literally our focus. First and foremost, when Michelle and I masterminded this idea of doing something, we wanted to bring back a couple things. One is customer service. Okay. I feel like you go anywhere nowadays, you don't even get a smile. Say your lunch or your dinner from a restaurant. Let alone like a coffee shop. And it's kind of heartbreaking in the sense that you look at movies like Back in the Future, and it might be silly, but they're going back in the 1950s, and everybody's smiling, right? Right. Yeah. So there's something nostalgic about the customer service and feeling the warmth of the small town. We know that Chilliwack is growing, but
we don't want to lose that. We definitely don't want to lose that.
No, and
small town hospitality.
Very, very much so. We're trying to bring it back. And the second one is also always being out in the community. Always. Why? All they do is give us. That's all they feed us every single day. The least we can do is give them our time back.
That's right.
So for us to do the Fraser Valley Women's Show, that's what we want to do. We just want to promote who we are, show them our faces, what we're about, what we stand for, what we really care for more than anything else. And at the end of the day, that's what we care for is our people. We're busy. We're booked. It's a beautiful clinic.
That's right.
It's not about people coming in. It's about service and care that is given and provided every single treatment. So we tell the other therapists here on a regular basis, every single time you go into a treatment, know that hour with your patient is all that matters. Nothing else in the world matters but that hour. And I think they're starting to really understand and open up their minds to that concept. I know life happens. There's a lot of things on the go all the time. It doesn't mean we can't.
And distractions becomes a habit.
Yes.
In our lives.
Absolutely. Absolutely. With everything. With everything that we do. So focus on you, focus on your patient, give them 100% of you. That's the customer service. And ultimately what happens is your treatments always get stronger and better when you do that. Why? Because you're 100% in. You know what I mean? There's no love lost there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
So
I've heard this phrase multiple times, but what you focus on grows.
Yes.
Right. So that zoom in 100% in.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. No distractions. Literally in sports is called being in the zone.
That's right.
I'm sure you've heard it on 1,000 talk shows, but it literally means everything else, any external noises are completely gone, and you're so focused. It's very, very narrow, but I've been there.
Are you 100% focused 100%. In the zone when you're curling in for that lunch?
You know what? I gotta be honest. Last time I skipped, I was 100% in, and the girls were trying to rile me up in my head, but I was in. We lost by 1.
Okay.
Which is good. Usually Michelle takes the lead on the skip. She has a little more experience than I do. Yeah. But we didn't get crushed.
That's awesome. So That's awesome.
We're going to take credit for that. We only lost by 1, and it happened to be in the 6th end, which was amazing.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, we kicked ass and took names that day.
That's great.
Which was pretty awesome, even though we didn't get the W. We got free drinks out of it. That's important.
Hey, that's a win.
That's a win.
You got a W. That's a win. That's a W. Hey, what was the 2-3 different types of feedback that you got from the women that came to your booth? Those that never heard of you, maybe, those that have heard of you, those who are clients. What kind of feedback did you get?
Well, I mean, the primary questions are, where are you? We would tell them, the Canadian Tire Plaza across from Sleep Country, great location, great parking. That was one of the big questions. Are you guys local? Yes, right? Yes, so the local factor was really, really big.
And great parking, for sure. Great parking.
The parking is next to impossible in this town. Right?
That's right.
The second one was, what kind of care do you guys provide? And we tell them, it's tailored to what you need first and foremost. Okay. If you need to come in and de-stress, you can do that. If you need more focused treatment, you can also come in and do that as well. And lastly, I would say the biggest one is direct billing.
That's huge.
It was absolutely massive. Everybody's eyes lit up the second you said we do direct billing. Not a lot of people have a lot of disposable income. So for them to actually take part, come in, get a full treatment, love it, and not have to pay out of pocket, that's huge. Not everybody has this extra $100 sitting around. And a lot of people today are on budgets. You want to get ahead, you want to hit your vacation spots, you want to go camping, you want to take your kids. Mexico sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
It's not.
I think 3 weeks from now sounds like a great plan.
I mean, 3 weeks from now, I don't have a choice.
You're on a plane to Mexico.
I am completely exhausted. We haven't had a day off in 3 weeks.
That's amazing.
So, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not upset at all by it.
You'll decompress in Mexico.
I will decompress in Mexico. I will wear my thong and
your Superman cape,
full on Superman cape,
or your Borat's banana hammock.
Oh, buddy, I'm going full European. I'm going full European in Mexico because it's
because that's what Europeans do.
That's what they do.
That's what they do.
All of them. Can you imagine if that gets out in Europe?
That is scary.
That's not a sight you want to see, man. Jesus, I'm 5'9", 230 pounds. It's not what you want to see.
So what I found interesting that you guys were given a lot of love from stage at the women's event.
Yes.
Were you guys actually on stage with the CrossFit?
Yeah.
Okay, you were actually.
Was literally working out.
Okay.
We were literally working out.
All right.
So it was fatiguing. It was in the middle of the day. I got very sweaty.
But hey,
very sweaty. The ladies love that. I don't think they did. I got to be honest.
Like, did you wipe your sweat and throw in the towel on the ice?
When I sweat because of CrossFit Chilliwack, amazing place to go. I sweat in the shape of a heart.
Oh, that's lovely. That's so heartfelt, bud.
Wear right on my sleeve, Oh God, so many puns. I love it. But I think it was kind of necessary that I wore I sweat a heart.
Yeah.
For the ladies,
you just all heart, bud. Heart.
That's all I can do.
Yeah. So you guys, what's impressive is that not only are you guys RMTs, but you're on stage rocking out to CrossFit.
Absolutely.
That is impressive because you're walking the walk.
This is very true. We have to work out to maintain a level of intensity that try to kind of in a performance that we need to give our patients back. So we're not only telling our patients like this is what you need to do, this is how you get better. We're actually living that as much as we can.
Yeah.
Secondly, again, CrossFit is a huge part of the community. It's a huge part of our lives as well. And we were just trying to help our neighbors. That's the least we can do. But again, going back to trying to help the community out, this is one way we could do it, right? Is to give a demo with CrossFit on stage, which was incredible. They did a really, really great job. And just promoting overall health, right? So optimal. So mental, physical, and spiritual, any way you can find it is the way to go. And if you can kind of combine all three, then you're living that optimal life.
That's awesome. So when you were speaking to some of these guests, or when you feel a phone call, what's the process like for somebody new coming in?
Very easy. It's very welcoming. As you can tell by the clinic, everything we do is pretty relaxed here. We keep the professionalism up, very high standard. But for us, when you walk in the door, immediately you want to feel like you can take off your shoes, put your feet up, grab a chocolate, grab a magazine, grab your coffee or tea, and hang out. So initially, if somebody were to call or come in,
that's the intake process.
The intake process. Basically, what we would do is find out what works for them as far as their schedule goes. Our therapists are here pretty much from 8 in the morning till 8 in the evening, which is a lot better than most. Usually, we close at 5. And we're also open on Sundays. We're trying to find someone in for Saturdays, which is incredible. But it's essentially getting to know them, what they need to work on, figure out what their needs and standards are, and more importantly, trying to cater to exactly what they need. So we would ask tons of questions up front.
Is it something that they're filling out?
Yeah, either they fill out or it's going to be on a personal basis depending if they're coming in. Now, there is an initial intake that everybody is required by law to fill out. It's just record keeping, of course. And it's also an important tool for us to get to know somebody's health history, which is very, very crucial. On top of that, we also have consent forms that you would have to read and acknowledge and sign off on. Consent's important not only for the therapist, but more so for our patients, because it dictates the environment in which they're getting their treatment. Right? They have the power. The consent is for them. It's not for us. Okay. So that's really, really important. Lastly, we also have disclaimers and consent for direct billing for insurance companies, so on and so forth. So you usually find that initial email that we sent out. So initially, when somebody signs up, we get their phone number, we get their name and their email. We send them out a welcome email, a little package to let them know what we do, how we do it. And then in that has the intake and informed consent. And it comes back to us automatically. We're trying to go paper-free, which is terrific because, anything to save the environment if we can. We try to live it healthy as well. And then, you come in and you get your treatment. It's amazing.
I mean, obviously, the first time around is a little longer because of the intake process.
Yeah, I mean, the first time around, initially, if you were to come in, if you had filled out your paperwork, it really shouldn't be too long. There's an initial assessment that has to go with your first treatment. But depending on your conditions, it can take anywhere from 2-3 minutes.
So that's pretty quick.
Or it can take up to 10-12 minutes, depending on the severity of the condition that you worked on.
So with a client, make sure that they give you all of their insurance and details prior to the first session.
Yeah, it would go a long way. Even if you don't have it the first time around, we can issue a receipt from one of our MTs. You can submit it directly to your insurance companies. So either way, I mean, the direct billing is just another step for convenience for you. So you don't have to do a little more work. There'll be more on our end. But initially, if you don't have it or you forget it at home, if anything should happen, then by all means, we'll just give you the receipt.
Yeah. Is there one question that you frequently get asked by new clients, or not about curling, but about
for me personally,
that you constantly feel like you're always answering the same question?
The same question is, so my friend came to see you and said you're a really mean therapist. So yes, it's true. I am a mean therapist, but what they mean by mean therapist is I'm very specific in how I go about working my massage therapy.
So tell me about this.
It's very specific. I'm very sports oriented. If you have a shoulder problem, I'm looking to focus at anything that works with the shoulder. So you have a lot of the back muscles. You got to look at your core. You got to look at your ribs, your lats, your deltoids, your neck, cervical spine work. All of it. Just because the shoulder doesn't mean it's directly the shoulder. It can mean
all connected.
Everything that works with it, right? I have this weird knack of picking out weird ergonomic movements in people when they walk in my door. I can see weird hitches in their hips or their knees or their ankles, or even how they stand or when they're slouching, so on and so forth. That I think over 15 years of practice has kind of trained my eyes and my mind to look for these specific tells.
That must be crazy for you when you're walking around the mall. It's because you're like, that.
It is the most disturbing and annoying thing ever. Michelle and I would be walking, and will literally like, do we say anything? Do we tell them? Like, you know, but what do? You know, some people notice it, some people don't. A lot of people are content living the way they're living.
That's right.
But if they're coming here to see us, clearly they're asking for help. And it's the least we can do is try to point out things that can be improved and work very diligently to get them to the standard that they believe they can get in. More importantly, the standard that we feel that they can get in.
Okay.
Because sometimes people put restrictions on themselves. Right. And I think it's unfair to do that. And I do it myself. You probably do it. Everybody that I know does it.
Because if you're not cognizant of level 100,
exactly,
and you're only living at 70, you don't know what that gap is.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. But when you see a professional for whatever you do, they see the 100%. They know they can get you to the 100% if they work hard enough with you and you work hard enough for yourself. So that's very, very important. So I mean, to go back to the question of people, I'm mean because I'm specific.
Okay.
And I also feel like people are not made of glass. And not that I just go in and pound somebody. it's not like that at all. I'm very, very
Nick the tenderizer.
Yeah, the tenderizer. I literally, my thumbs are called Thor's hands. I'm not even kidding. That's a nickname, and it's being passed around.
Okay.
And as a matter of fact, in some people's cell phones, my name comes up as "You've been nicked." Like, I'm not even kidding. There's 4 people in Chilliwack that have my phone number as "You've been nicked," which is kind of amazing.
Hammers, callers.
Oh my God. Which is amazing. You know, it's actually it's a privilege for me to hear that. But with that being said, the referral source has been nothing short of amazing and outstanding because of the work I do.
Well, Thor is a popular Marvel character.
It is, and he's almost as attractive as I am.
And he also wears a red cape. With that flowing blonde hair.
He trimmed it off. He lost an eye and everything. That guy's incredible. That guy's literally, you couldn't pick a better Norse god if you chose him.
Yeah.
God, he did so good.
You need to have reclaimed t-shirts where like the whole Thor hammer is.
That would be kind of cool, eh?
Just for you, nobody else would wear it.
Oddly enough, I love Superman. He's my favorite superhero. But I hate DC.
Okay.
So that's a funny thing. And Batman?
So tell me about this hate of DC.
It's not so much.
Where's it come from?
You know what? It's Batman.
Okay.
It's Batman. I genuinely don't like.
Don't like him. Okay.
I love Bruce Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd be good friends with Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
As shallow as that sounds. Yes, I would take advantage of him.
You'd be part of the
entourage. Very loaded. Yeah, he's very loaded. I just want to borrow the Batmobile.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know, man. I just think soft. He's a soft superhero. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Aquaman's cool, at least the new one.
No, yeah.
Wonder Woman.
Hey.
What can I say?
Hey.
You know?
Enough said.
She's all right.
Yeah.
That's Superman, man. That guy just doesn't die. And when he does, he always comes back to life.
He comes back.
So the guy genuinely doesn't die. Yeah. Superman's a man. You know? Which is funny because I do like the villains more than I do the superheroes.
Yeah. Villain, they make great characters.
Yeah.
Talking about Kryptonite. Well, Superman Kryptonite.
I got it.
What would you say is, if you're willing to answer this, your kryptonite when it comes to just, I don't know, just the whole craft?
Yes, like running just business in the show.
You. Or it could be, I mean, whatever that
what is
looks
my
like.
kryptonite? That's a good question.
I just came up with that.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Toughest thing for me, my weakness, there's not enough time in the day to do everything that I want to do.
Yeah.
And I don't have enough energy or strength to do more for my patients. And that's how I feel. And if you were to look at my schedule, you would say you're a madman for saying that out loud, because Michelle and I do overreach on a regular basis. Yeah. We understand that, but it's important for us to get our people in.
Which I know in your field, because my sister-in-law is one, in your field, you're not supposed to overreach because your lifespan in your career is much shorter.
Yes.
So I know that it's to a detriment, basically.
That's no such. On a very good year, any given massage therapist in British Columbia with full practice will complete anywhere from 12 to 1,500 massages a year. That's a good year. I think Michelle and I right now are averaging around 2,300.
Dude.
Yeah.
You're doubling it.
Yeah.
Not in a good way for, I mean, it's good for...
Physically, it's tough.
Physically, it's really challenging.
We're exhausting. We're exhausting. I mean, this didn't come by itself. You know what I mean? CrossFit Chilliwack, thank you very much.
Hence Mexico, to relax and decompress.
That's exactly it. So it's very, very important that we try to take breaks for ourselves, for our kids, and for our mental acuity. Like when you overwork, it's very hard to break down and problem solve a lot of the issues that come on the table. That's something that I think rarely do therapists talk about is when you're burnt out mentally, it's hard to relate it to the body. To deliver onto the body and get the right responses, the right results from your patient.
Yeah.
So that's a big one. So Kryptonite, taxes.
Oh, that's me too, man.
Taxes.
Yeah.
So if there's anybody out there it's really good with bookkeeping and taxes, and you're going to charge me less than $2,500 a year, I'll take it. You got to save some money, man. It's expensive.
On that note, with Nick and Michelle heading out, it's much deserved rest.
Absolutely.
Because these guys go hard, and I don't even know how you guys do it. I mean, I know your schedules are packed.
Yeah.
But what it does to you mentally and physically is tough. But it's nice to have that break so you can come back and be fresh for your clients' patients again. Look them up, reclaimedhealthgroup.com. Best in town. RMTs work hard for the patients with everything. Their hearts, he sweats hearts. It's all heartfelt, all in. And
these are all facts.
Yeah. Until next episode, guys. Cheers.